Hello and welcome to HelloHogan.com, or if you're watching this via YouTube, then hello to all of you YouTubers. Man, it's been a long time since I posted a video, and for that I apologize. I've been getting my website together, getting it beautified, so check that out, HelloHogan.com. Today I wanted to talk about what it's like to be black in China. But I've waited to do it because I wanted to kind of get a full scope of things before I talked about it. Now that I have a little over 3 weeks left, I think that I'm ready. Plus, I wanted to wait until my experience was more positive because I didn't want that to come across in this video. Okay, so first, in order to understand Chinese people and why they interact with foreigners, especially black foreigners, the way that they do, you have to understand a little bit about the government and culture. China is a communist country where things are censored, so a lot of the media that we see in the USA, people don't see here. In America even, we still don't see a ton of African Americans in the media, at least not as much as Caucasians. So imagine that, what we see, imagine a third of that. So in addition to this fact, only a little over 30 years ago, China was even allowing foreigners to cross its borders. So when you think about that, 30 plus years, 38 years, that's not that long. But now that foreigners can come into China, you still have to have a visa. So that in itself probably cuts down on the amount of visitors that China has. Basically, what this all means is that Chinese people don't see a lot of black people, like at all, especially where I'm at. It's very, very rare. So aside from the censorship and the Chinese borders, when coming to China especially, you have to realize that the culture is very different. In the States, it's rude to stare, it's rude to point, to gawk, and you definitely don't take pictures of strangers. But here, that's not the case. It's okay to stare. Chinese people have a different standard of personal space. So even though at times foreigners may get offended by these things, you have to realize that this is just how they do things in China. Okay, so now that that's all to the side, my personal experience. Being black has definitely been interesting and kind of hard at times in China. In Haikou, where I live, the population of foreigners is super low, and the population of a black foreigner is even lower. Every now and then, in fact, I met a guy from New York who was black. Most of the black people here are from Africa. African Americans, I've met two my entire year, so it's super rare. So when Chinese people see me, the most common reaction is like shock, like stares, gasp. In fact, today a little girl saw me, she goes, wow, like it's rare. They're super amused by it. A lot of times Chinese people will sneak pictures of me, and some days that's okay, but other days it's super annoying. Sometimes I get looks of disgust. What's beautiful in China is commonly the milky white skin. Obviously, I'm a milk chocolate tone, so I'm different. And at times I run into ignorant people who stare and laugh and heckle. But with that being said, the reactions are definitely balanced. Most times when I go out, especially to nightclubs, I'll get invited to tables and they want to buy drinks for you. They'll ask to take pictures with you. On multiple occasions, Chinese people have said my skin is very beautiful and compare me to women like Kelly Rowland or Beyonce, which of course is flattering. The more educated Chinese people are excited to meet a foreigner, definitely a black foreigner, because here we are truly a rare breed and it's a sign of status to have foreign friends. So there's definitely some negatives, of course, and there's a lot of positives here as well. A couple times I've experienced strangers coming up to me and randomly touching my hair just because it's so different. Typically, I'm not saying all Chinese girls, but typically, they have the long, dark, very straight hair. So when they see my hair of a different texture, that's like super exciting. It's just different, and so they wanna feel it. I don't necessarily like that, but it happens. So, but my favorite thing is when my students first met me, they would like rub my skin. Oh, it was super fascinating to them, and a couple of them call me chocolatier, which I think is cute. So like I said before, there's definitely mixed mixed reactions. When I first got here, it was hard for me to get the stares and attention because it isn't always positive, and sometimes you just want to go out and be incognito, but that's impossible here. Once I got comfortable with the idea, though, that their culture is different, I made a personal decision not to be offended, and my perception got a lot better. For example, when I first got here, a lot of locals would ask if I were from Africa, and that would really offend me. But that kind of showed my own ignorance. To be offended that someone would think I'm from Africa, I had to really look within myself and figure out why that bothered me. Because that was stupid. That was stupid. They truly just didn't know. Their perception of America is that it's just white people. When you think about it, when you break it down, here in China, Chinese features are their eyebrows are more straight. They have more narrow eyes. Smaller lips, pointed chin. In China, that's the look, the typical look of Chinese people. Whereas in America, we have Hispanic people, we have Asian people, we have black people. So that concept is different for them to understand. So rather than get offended that they think I'm from Africa, you just have to laugh and correct them and say, no, there's black people in America. You kind of just have to educate them. Don't take it offensively. A lot of people ask me, is China a racist country? If you Google it, you'll find that a lot of people say China's a racist country. But to me, I would say it's not any more racist than the United States. Like I said, you're going to experience ignorance anywhere in the world you go. That's just life. But what matters, though, is how you react to it. When I get stares or unwanted attention, I just try my hardest to be polite, because in my head, I think that if these people have never experienced a black person, then I don't want my behavior to give them a reason to think anything negative about us. So my advice to anyone, especially black people thinking about coming to China, first I would say definitely come. That's the biggest issue, is that we're not traveling to places like this enough to give those great impressions. Chinese people wouldn't be so shocked to see us if we allowed ourselves to be seen. So come, because they're traveling, not to get on my soapbox, they're traveling, you not only educate yourself, but you educate those around you. So many times cab drivers, like I said, are like, where are you from? And I say American, they're like, whoa, really? They truly didn't know that. So I just taught them something. So that's amazing. Second, I would say you have to be patient. Don't be easily offended. The stares and the attention you'll get 9 times out of 10 are not meant to be rude. They're not meant to upset you. They're just truly fascinated by you. Last, I want to say that my experiences are my own. I can't speak for every black person who's been to China. This is just what I have found. But I want to hear from you. As an African American or simply a foreigner, how were you treated in China? I love to compare notes. It's interesting. I think that in different parts of China, the treatment is a lot different. So let me know. Shout it out. I love hearing from you. Comment below. Email me. You can find that at hellohogan.com. And thank you so much for listening.